Cool, thank you.
Intro. Hello, welcome to the 134th hour of Adventurers Wanted.
Those monk skills.
Bad monk skills. Neo with a mop, everybody.
This is a relaxed performance, like all of us.
Clearly.
That means that there won't be any sudden loud noises. There's a relaxed attitude to sound and movement in the audience for the benefit of people who would struggle to be still and silent for an hour. If you need to leave and come back during the hour, that's absolutely fine at any point. And the lights will stay up as they are. We are having a bit of a trouble with some of the hotel's lights. We will never go to full blackout. There will always be these lights on. And if the lights go out, I will get them back on within a matter of seconds. If you needed anything like a hearing with headset, I'm the person to ask. My name's Chloe, I'll be over there. And for now, I will hand you over to our GM, Leo.
Hello! Thank you very much, Grant. My name is Leo. I'm the Games Master for this hour and until 3 o'clock, so this hour and the next hour. What is this? What on earth is going on? Yes, good question. We're Adventurers Wanted, which means that we are a tabletop role-playing game. The three people on my left and right here have individual characters that interact with a fantasy setting. I, as the Games Master, control the fantasy setting, the allies that the players make, the enemies they create, and the bacon that they smell throughout the world. And to mediate between the two of us, the four of us on this one, we use dice to try and keep things fair, or hilariously unfair, as the dice may speak. And they do tell a story, don't they? Boy, do they do that. So a quick catch up with the story so far. The players all play characters who are crew members of the Spirit of the Horizon, a scientific research vessel which awakened a dead god, and in trying to escape from said dead god, cast a spell that was far beyond their capabilities to control. And now they find themselves in a new reality, and they are trying to get home desperately. In the last little hour, they've been asked by the Queens of the Thundercrest Isles, the Trochen, Caldera, Abelzim, and Tabris, to try and uncover a cultish insurgence which has been graffitiing all over the town, called the Cult of the Snake Mother. And they've had a lot of confusing leads and some clues that have pointed in different directions, but they've found their way to Villa Shuno, which is where the which is where the merchant Yane lives. And the very last thing that happened was our rogue Nomi Watts jumped in through the window, waking up, or seemingly almost waking up Yane, who was asleep at his desk. Before we jump straight back into that, unfortunately, Grant, you sat in the danger chair for that one. Before we jump straight back into that, why don't we meet our players and their characters? So starting on my left here, tell us your name, your character's name, and give us some context, give us some backstory.
Of course, my name is Reese, and I am playing Galbert Twinkletoes, the halfling monk. Galbert is the quartermaster upon the Spirit of the Horizon, but once upon a time he was the cleaner. Don't ask about the promotion system, we're not sure how it works.
That's it? Cool.
That's it.
I'm Naomi, I'm playing Brina Froddle, who is the head of arcane research on the ship and is possibly the only person left who has the title that the Admiralty gave her. She focuses on magical research. She's not particularly good at much else, but you know, she's trying.
I'm Garrison Thief. I am a helmsman on board the ship, and I am a rogue. I'm a halfling.
Ooh. Yeah, cool. Which is very useful for you because as you were recovering from your first trip to the land, you spent about an hour just kicking around the ship. What were you doing?
Well, in the ship, I was striving to find some critical information to demote Bree from her position. However,
you were digging for dirt on Brina.
Yeah, however, none was to be found.
No, she is an upstanding member of the crew.
Yeah.
And then suddenly the gold spark plays across your skin once again. You feel this metallic tang on your coin, and you're like,
"Oh, it's a tingle."
and then it grows bright and you can't see, and then you're no longer on the spirit. You're stood on a desk in front of a sleeping fat man.
Oh.
Roll a stealth check for me.
I have a 16 and
It's just in the box there, and they're alphabetized.
alphabetical, so that's going to be a 27.
27. So you're on this desk. Your feet either side of a piece of paper that this man was writing on, a piece of parchment, and the guy snorts. And then he just breathes regularly, clearly in a deep sleep. As you look around, the room is quite opulent. There's a lot of wealth here, clearly.
What items are on the walls?
You've got one wall is taken up by a library, bookshelves. The other wall, there's this wonderful painting of the Trocan caldera, which holds the sun peak as its focus.
I investigate the painting further.
Yeah, roll an investigation check as you hop off down the desk and run over to the painting.
Investigation. That is a 13.
13. The brushwork isn't the best you've seen, but you know, you could probably fence this for some coin.
I then move from the painting towards the bookshelf and see what is there of any importance.
Nice.
This appears to be, there's a lot of books on law and on trade law, and there's a lot of ledgers here as well, dating back at least 20 years, so far as you can see.
I pull one of the ledgers.
Yeah, how old are you looking here?
I'm wanting dating from 10 years to current time.
Okay, cool. So you pull out a ledger, 10 years old. It's beautiful red leather. It's heavy. It's a big book. Even for an Arabian, he would have to. So you have to pull it out with two hands as the halfling, and you hold it across your entire forearm as you flip it open, and it just details cloths and wines and livestock. Unfortunately, no Pegasi. As you're flipping through the book, trying to see what this man was trading. Is there anything particular you're looking for?
I'm looking for any hidden transactions.
Okay.
Which I could possibly use in my favour if he wakes up as a bride.
Roll an investigation check.
So we have 15.
15. As you flick through, you can't really find anything particularly out of place in this book 10 years ago.
And I take this book and I walk it over to the desk and I swap it from the two parchments on the desk.
Okay, sleight of hand check that is.
That is going to be a 15.
15. Okay. As you lift, so unfortunately, this fat man's hand has rested on the piece of parchment you're looking for. You just very carefully lift up his hand, slide the ledger underneath it, and as you go to take the parchment, he wakes and he looks down at you, and roars, "What are you doing?" Can I get perception checks from the two of you, please?
Thank you. 10.
21.
You hear that, Galbert. As you walk off towards the tree line, suddenly there's a crash and two guards also come into the room, Garrus. And now there's three tall Arabian gentlemen stood around you. And he goes, "What? Who on earth are you and what are you doing in my house?" Holding your wrist in his hand.
I lie and tell him I am a nobody. And I free myself from his grip.
Okay, so for the lie, I need the deception check.
Deception, that's going to be a 21.
Sure, he goes, "I know you're a nobody, but what are you doing in my house?" And then roll an acrobatics check for me, please.
That's going to be a 17.
Very easily, you just make your hand, you tuck your thumb in behind your little finger, make your hand very small and out from his hand. He looks pretty annoyed at that.
I then position myself equidistant between the guards and him.
Okay, fantastic. Putting yourself in the middle of the room. What are the two of you doing?
Oh, what should we do?
About what?
Did you not? They've found him. They found Nomi.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah. Let's go. Let's do this. And can we discern which window that came from?
Roll a
or-
perception check.
21 again.
Surprising nobody, Galbert knows.
Yeah. Surprising no one else.
There's
Really doesn't
there's
say.
a window on the left which is slightly open, and you can see in now. It's not Nomi, it's a halfling, and he's stood between 3 Arabi, 2 guards, and 1 in fine clothing.
It's not Nomi, it's another guy.
That's even worse. Let's go.
Oh.
We're gonna try and climb into the window.
Roll stealth checks. Are you being stealthy?
I guess to get into
I-
the window we need to be stealthy, don't we?
I'm not. I'm literally just jumping up and sitting in the window frame.
Okay, the 2 guards that you were talking to earlier shout, "Hey, what? Stop!" As you just run past and just hop into the window.
I go to be sneaky and then see him doing that. And I'm like, well, all right. And then I just run towards the window.
One of the guards runs to intercept you.
Okay.
Have you got anything to stop him? He's going to roll a grapple check on you.
Okay.
He doesn't roll particularly well.
What is it?
He comes in to try and grab your arm.
Stuck out.
Roll acrobatics.
Well, I can cast shield on him. That's all I'm thinking. No.
No, that's not how grapple works. What did
4.
you roll?
I rolled a 4.
What did you roll total?
4.
Okay. You try and juke the guy, but he just grabs your shoulder, and you're being held now outside. And he goes, "Help! Help!" And he looks in and sees that the response team is actually already responding. Garrus, you see all of this happening, this commotion outside, and then suddenly the head of the cleaning department. Oh no, wait, sorry, that was a while back. He's a quartermaster now. Anyway, he nimbly, with grace, jumps in through the window and just lands next to you.
Hello. All right, mate.
Where did you come from?
Hello, Galbert Twinkletoes. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
You broke into my house. You were trying to shake my hand.
Got a fair point there. I apologise for this young man.
And
He's
Brina is the guard drags you in through the front door, kicking it open, and pulls you left. What were you going to do?
I was going to dimension door into the room.
Okay, cool, fantastic. And as he goes, "Help! Help!" The grey energy whisks you away, and then help! She's gone.
Chaos.
And he doesn't see you in the room. But as Galbert tries to introduce himself to this fat man, the lieutenant appears on your left.
hello.
Hi.
I apologise for this young man. You see, he is rather special, in his own unique way, and he just gets curious. But that being said, we were trying to talk to you, and the men outside were being very rude. I'm sure you were very busy, but this is incredibly important. It's from the Queen's.
Roll a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
It's fine.
20.
Okay. You're from the Queen's.
Yes.
And he notices the badges on your uniforms. He goes, "Why did you not wake me?" And the guards go, "You told us not to wake you." And he goes, "We'll talk about this later. Leave, get out. Go on, get out." And the guards walk out.
Can't believe I had to dimension door. Just ridiculous.
Hello. Once again, I'm sorry about breaking into your house. After all,
This had better be urgent.
It's pretty urgent. It concerns have I got the pamphlet or did the guard take it off me?
The guard took it off you.
You need to go and ask your guard for the pamphlet I gave him.
Hang on 1 second. He walks out of the room. And then he sticks his head back in and says, "Actually, I'd be more comfortable if the 3 of you waited in the lounge."
that's
Fine.
entirely fair.
We would have liked to do that in the first place.
Yeah.
Where is he currently standing?
Just with his head, like, in
Will
the
there be
door
tea?
frame, looking at the 3 of you.
I would like to use
That'd
stealth
be
and try and
great,
get a
right?
parchment from
Yeah,
the
cup of
table.
tea.
Yeah, sure, okay.
I hope you don't think it rude. Will there be tea?
Yes.
Excellent.
So that's a 21.
What did you what was the roll on the dice?
9 plus my
Okay,
11.
so because you're so high level,
Uh-huh.
you have reliable talent, which means a roll lower than 10 can be treated as a 10.
Oh, well, there we go then.
As long as you're doing it for stealth, sleight of hand, or...
Same as what it says.
Yeah.
Cool. So, I've got a lot.
Yeah, you did.
Rogues.
Like a minimum of 22 whenever you try and stealth. This is high level play now. So yeah, you duck behind the door and he doesn't spot you as Galbert and Brina leave the room and just go across the corridor.
Do I see him do this?
Roll a perception check.
Yeah, I want to roll as well.
23.
Yeah, you spot him.
I don't.
Yes.
So bad to
Galbert
see.
knows where you are.
I grab him by the arm and I pull him along.
Are you going to contest that?
I think I've grabbed it in time.
Okay, yeah, sure. He's got a piece of parchment in his right hand.
I don't say anything.
Sure. And you're escorted across the way to a very nice lounge with a fireplace not currently burning. It's a nice day. And there's, in fact, a decanter on a beautiful coffee table made out of this red wood. And there's sofas, cushioned sofas all around. And he rings a bell. He goes, "Mint tea will be with us shortly." Which guard am I talking to?
Don't know his name. One of the ones on the front.
On the front
He
door.
said you put him in charge.
Right, yes, I know the one you mean. And he leaves.
Well, this is lovely.
I just wish we'd have been let in the first place. Like, I don't.
The parchment?
I want to read the parchment and see what information it holds.
Absolutely. The parchment is an invoice, by the look of it. Sorry, not invoice, the other one. A purchase order, by the look of it. But it doesn't seem to have the address, strangely. I mean, as you were flicking through the ledger, you saw that he was quite fastidious in detailing the address and the name of the people that he was buying from. But this sort of skirts around that.
What is the invoice in purchase of?
It is meat. It says...
That's not good, is it?
Does it?
No.
Oh my.
And then he comes back in and goes, what is this?
This is a pamphlet that was found at the full sale.
Well, that's slander. In fact, it's libel, and I will charge whoever found it.
We
what?
We acquired it and wanted to bring it to you. We didn't show anyone else.
Just bringing it to your attention.
Well, who created it?
We don't
know.
That's what we're here to find out.
Why would they be using
Well, I don't know.
Why would they be using your address?
Yes, why indeed? This feels like a very rude trick.
It seems fraudulent.
Does.
Can I roll insight on him?
You can.
Never mind. 3.
I hate to be that person, but can I also roll insight?
Uh-huh.
Okay, come on. 16.
16.
Yes.
With the information... Garrus, did you share the information on the parchment?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they weren't happy about it.
You already know that this guy's hiding something. He's definitely hiding something.
You've been nice enough to allow us into your home.
At this point, a Komodo maid appears with a tray of tea and places it down on the coffee table and then quietly leaves.
Thank you. You were nice enough to invite us into your home and share tea with us. It's incredibly kind of you. But understand that we are under the instruction of the Queen and we need to get to the bottom of this no matter what. Is there anything right now that you would like to declare before this goes any further and we have to get the authorities involved?
Roll a very polite persuasion check.
So polite.
That's the wrong dice.
That is the wrong... Thank God it was the wrong dice. Oh.
7.
I declare that I do not like people who break and enter into my house when they could quite very easily, if they're officials, go through official channels. Never forget that I am the one who is the victim here. I am being libelled against, and this one, broke and enter into my house.
We wouldn't have had to if your guards listen to us, but sure.
What are you, some high inquisitor? I've not been informed of any authority that you have.
We work with the queens very closely. And do
Elite
what needs to-
task force is what's been thrown around.
We do
Elite
what
task force.
We're not involved with the politics of this land, so when something needs doing that could be politically sensitive, since we have no side, we see what
Choose
we
the
can find out.
queen's side, yes,
We see
clearly.
what we can find
No,
out.
we are impartial.
You're impartially working for the queen.
We're as impartial as we can be.
She just happens to pay.
Well, I too can pay if that's what you require.
No. Helmsman, present the paperwork.
I hand him over the parchment
Sure.
and I intimidate with the evidence on there.
Yeah, how do you intimidate him?
With my finger.
Okay, sure, you just wave your finger in his face.
Yep. Very naughty.
roll an
Very naughty.
roll an intimidation
I
check.
sincerely hope this works.
I hear a tutting in the back of my head.
Intimidation. I now have an 18.
Oh my god. He goes, this is illegally obtained.
It
Oh.
never left your house.
It was taken without my permission. This is a private purchase order document.
I
For
think you
meat.
need to tell us about what it's about.
Obviously, it's to purchase meat, which I
From
sell on
who?
from my clients.
Which are? Investigation.
Roll persuasion checks again.
Okay. Hard 20.
Hard, a natural 20.
Natural 20.
Good lord.
Oh, critical success. I rolled really well and I didn't need to. That was an 18.
Smashed it.
He looks at the two of you. He looks at your wagging finger. Goes, okay.
Why don't we have a seat and discuss this?
He sits down. And he goes, I want your word before we go any further that no harm will come to my wife.
Of course.
We can guarantee that.
Deception.
Roll a deception check.
4 plus 9. So that's going to be 13 plus an O. It's 10. So it's going to be 14.
14, okay.
Oh no, plus that 9. So it's 10. So it's 19. Sorry.
19.
And I win.
And he's like, okay. She merely, it makes her happy to have found a new faith. I have been trading with the Nif for about 3 years.
What
I-
have you been acquiring?
I'm a
from-
businessman. I
What?
saw a market that was untapped. I've been acquiring livestock. I've been acquiring cloths and spices, and I've been acquiring other goods to sell on.
What
Nothing
kind?
illegal. I know what you're
Oh.
thinking. These are not illegally obtained meats. This is livestock.
That's fine. But obviously, there's been an upturn in the graffiti going around the village.
Yes, like I said. My wife's new friends are zealous. Understand, they are not the monsters that the fairy tales say they are.
So
I can tell you we are trying to go in speaking to them first. We're not here to cause harm or kill. That's not why we're here. We want to just ensure that they're not a threat to Queen Tabris and to the people she is
Well,
in
Possibly
charge of.
gain another ally.
as your investigators, you may take my assurance as a man of business and of good faith that they are no danger to Queen Tabris.
Now, that's lovely, but you have lied to us already once today. So what I'm going to need from you, and I understand that we put you in a difficult position, but your guards put us in a difficult position, so we're at a stalemate here. What we need from you is the location of the Nif, and where we could speak with them.
Say your wife has friends who are zealots of the snake
I
murder?
wouldn't call them zealots. I'd call them faithful people.
We have some clerics who are zealous. They don't vandalise, but they're zealous.
Yes.
Did you
When
meet
did they meet?
Elias?
Yes, I met him.
Yeah, there you go.
They're downstairs now.
They're downstairs now. Can you
I
take
think
us
it might
to
be
them,
wise
please?
if we have a conversation with them.
Mhm. Perfectly civil.
All right. But there's something important.
Mhm.
Oh no.
If you go down into the corridor, you'll need the phrase "in death as in life."
Well, that's not ominous at all. Who
Tell-
picked that?
Tell me a religion that doesn't have weird, ominous eschatology in it.
Alright, yeah, you got a point.
Can
I
I
was
use...
going to say that's totally fair.
No, it's fine.
No? Okay.
Okay.
Go into my cellar. And he looks physically exhausted at this point. He goes, go into my cellar. Under one of the wine barrels, you will find a trapdoor. The corridor will lead you to them.
I would
Okay.
like to
Thank you.
persuade him to lead us.
Roll a persuasion check.
I have a 12.
He goes, no. You woke me from a much needed rest. If you want to talk to them, you go and talk to them. I've done my part, have I not?
Yes, you have.
I
Thank you very
apologise
much.
and follow Bree.
Yeah, we're going to go downstairs to the cellar.
Okay. Hang on, I've just lost my place. Give me 1 second. Oh, look, here it is. Right, you go to the cellar. Can I get investigation checks from everybody, please? With advantage, because you've been given instructions.
That's 14. And that's 19. That's better.
10.
Natural, critical, 20.
Great. Okay,
Wow, dude.
Garrus,
Nice.
you're a thief.
I am.
I mean, you try and hide it from the rest of the crew.
And my last name is literally Thief.
Yep.
Can't help it.
You can't help it. And you walk into the cellar and you immediately spot the trapdoor because any good thief knows where the trapdoor is. It's underneath this this stack of wine barrels. It'll take a couple of minutes to unpack, especially since there's nobody taller than 3.5 foot in the party currently.
Okay. Well, may I suggest you take lead?
I'll do what I do my best.
Roll an athletics check, please.
Seven.
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, this is that I'm great at. No, I'm not apparently. 14 though.
Okay, 14. Okay,
Yeah.
so you try and lift the barrel on the top, and your arms are shaking, and then you've overextended, and it falls on you, and you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you're
Come on!
as you're crushed under a barrel of wine,
This is
and Garrus laughs openly at you.
whoopsie. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the
I
help.
lift the barrel off.
roll an athletics check.
That's 28.
You are rolling like a storm today. Yeah, you just kick it and it rolls off. It's very easy.
Can I help him up? Come on, buddy. On your feet.
Mate.
Whoopsie.
Okay, you take a couple more minutes, you clear the rest of the barrels, and the trapdoor is available to you.
Okay. Can we open it sneakily?
Sure. Roll a stealth check. I think
19.
I think it's Brina leading the roll here. Yep, Brina
Oh,
lifts.
Oh yeah, we have a rogue with us.
I know. I don't know why you didn't make the rogue do it, but that's fine.
I rolled really well, so
Yay, Bree. Well done.
Brina, you lift the trapdoor open, and it's quite big. It's probably as big as you.
that's fair.
I sneak through the gap.
Yeah, that's why I voted it. There you go.
Am
And
I still leading the party, or are we just?
I don't know. I think
Well, he's
Garrus
gone.
just went ahead
Safe
there.
to say you just
You
got
go next.
bludgeoned, mate, so we thought, right, we'll give you a rest.
I'm okay.
You go next.
I'll be alright.
You go down next.
Ahead of you is a corridor.
We walk down the corridor.
Slope step. Okay, roll a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh no.
No, just Galbert.
13.
What?
Actually, wait.
What happened
I
to
can
Neo with
expend
a
a key
mop?
point to re-roll it.
Can you?
Yep.
Okay.
And I will do that.
Well, you might need to, because as you're walking down the...
That's much better. That's a 25.
Okay, that will pass. As you're walking down the corridor, Brina, you watch Galbert would just stride ahead, annoyed at Garrus, to be honest, stride ahead, and suddenly these scythes come out of the wall and swing towards him.
Oh my God.
For a second, he panics, and you can see he looks a little bit like a rabbit in the headlights, but then he just steps back out of the way of them, and the scythes don't stop. They're just continuous. Shing, 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 shing.
Can I see the mechanism that's controlling them?
Roll an investigation check for me.
Can I help?
Yeah, roll it with advantage.
That was a 16 minus 1 is 15.
No, you can't.
Darn it!
Can I roll on my own?
No, you can't.
Okay. I had +5. I should have done that.
Yeah, well, you know, instead the wizard opened the hatch and the monk looked for the traps. That's what you're doing right now. So what's the plan, party?
Wait. Do they, like, touch the floor? The swing? In the swing, do they...
Just about, yeah, and you see scrapes along the floor as it's slowly made a groove.
Is there any rubble or any debris around?
Nope.
Can I use my short bow
Okay, yeah.
to... How are the scythes swinging? Via chain or via...
Pendulum. From the middle of the roof. And there's several sets of them along the corridor,
right, okay.
just continuously.
That's
Great,
Sure.
we're in... This is Dark Souls, and we're in Sen's Fortress.
Yeah, it's Sen's Fortress.
Right.
If you've
I
played
could
that.
just dissolve them with acid as
That
we
sounds
go.
good to me.
Yeah. It might take a while.
Oh.
I'm gonna, just to test this out, I'm gonna use acid splash at like the top of the bar and try and eat through the bar with acid splash.
Yeah, roll an attack roll for me. Or is it dex
Dexterity
saving throw?
saving throw.
Okay, automatically fails that. Roll your damage. It might be more because you're higher level now.
Yeah, it's 3d6, yeah. 9, 10.
Okay, you melt through the bar. So, Brina, actually describe to me how you cast this spell.
So, I'm gonna be really silly about it, uncharacteristically. Brina doesn't like casting this spell because the way she has to cast it, because she's talking in Gnomish, is to make it go her hand like this and go and blow a bubble out of her hand.
Sorry,
of
like
acid.
what?
Like, just flow through, and then a little bubble of acid floats up and pops.
Okay, and then splash all over the rebar, and it just melts straight through, and the thing comes crashing down to the floor. It wasn't particularly well constructed. And it's a huge a huge noise. And then from the other side, you hear a sorry.
In death as in life.
Exactly. From the other side of the corridor, you hear someone shout, "In death as in life!" And the sides shing,
Oh,
and this
Oh,
Arabian
we're
woman.
stupid.
Oh,
We're
I wrote
dumb.
that down.
we're so dumb.
Wrote that down.
I wrote it down. I wrote it down.
It was literally 5 minutes
It
ago.
was, so, this
Oh,
is the opposite of that post I showed you yesterday.
Oh, well.
Uh,
And this Arabian woman steps forward. She's dressed in wonderful clothing. She seems to be quite well kept. And she comes forward saying, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Nobody was hurt, was there?
no,
You're okay.
it's fine.
What happened?"
We
the
were
wine
told
barrel
the
did more damage.
We were told the password and we forgot the password. It's our own fault.
You were told the password by whom?
Your husband?
Presumably your husband?
Yane.
Yes.
My name is Eberzeel.
Zebelzeal?
Eberzeel.
Eberzeel.
Hello, Eberzeel. We need to talk with you and your friends.
Yes. Who are you?
I'm Brina.
Yes.
This is Galbert. This is Gareth.
Hello.
We're all members of the crew on the Spirit of the Horizon. We have been tasked with researching the symbols and the NIF, the symbols of the snake mother and the NIF that's been cropping up around town. We're here essentially just to find out you mean no harm to anyone. The graffiti's as far as it's going. We need you to stop that, really. And
all other... The other religions get to display their faith publicly, and Nakuk convinced me it was just... She means no harm. She's only been here a month or so.
yes, but drawing on buildings is not necessarily the best way to get people to turn around to your religion.
It's true.
True. Come,
We're here to find out about it. Like that's why we're here.
follow me.
And, we
And
follow
she
her.
leads you down the corridor. As she talked, she said, I met Nakuk through my husband's trade collections.
Mhm.
Not all the Nif are monsters, hashtag not all Nif. Not all the Nif are monsters. The Elder Nif, they've been trying to turn their culture around. Their people have been affected by a millennia of belief in Gask. And the Elder Nif believe in the Snake Mother. They're repressed by their own people. And when I learned this, I went behind my husband's back and I offered Nakuk a place to stay.
What is the purpose of the Snake Mother?
The Snake Mother is about life, about the cyclical nature of birth and destruction. And hang on one second. We have a big document all about it.
Ooh, that's
Ooh.
impressive.
Ooh.
That's 15, sorry.
Thanks very much. Yeah, I got it right.
So she promotes
Trust
Trust
peace.
myself.
Brina, do we know
She
the
promotes
difference
peace.
between the Nith and the
Why did
Elder
she need
Nith?
so much meat?
I'm assuming the Eldnif are the
I don't
people
know
who
what you
are
mean.
trying to run
The
the Nif
invoice.
society.
Hang on one sec. What's going on over here?
Just asking between the difference between the is.
What's the difference between the Nith and the Elder Nith?
You'll find out in a minute. So,
More powerful too.
or the opposite. Garrus is asking about the invoice. Why does the Snake Mother need so much meat? No, you're misunderstanding. My husband is just a shrewd businessman. The Nif had livestock to slaughter and we wanted the meat. There's not much land, not much arable farmland in this world anymore. Since the deluge, food has become one of the best commodities in the world.
Yeah, someone did mention that to me when I asked them about it. The Maguro.
My bad.
Okay. You weren't there. How would you know?
So
Secret doll?
about
It's hard to
200
tell
years
400 people.
So about 200 years ago, yeah, 400 people on the ship, dude. About 200 years ago, there was a great flood, and this world was not always a world of islands. But for some reason, the West Pole on this planet, which was covered in ice cap, melted entirely, and the sea levels rose an unprecedented amount, destroying civilizations and making everybody flee to the high ground. Which is why most of the islands that you come across tend to be like volcanic.
Nice. Okay.
As you come to the end of the corridor, you see ahead of you 4 Arabi women on their knees, and in the middle another woman who's not Arabi. She's somewhat shorter, in front of a great idol of this. It's made of stone, of this snake symbol that you've been seeing around. These snakes all facing outwards with their tails knotted in a tie in the middle. And they're obviously in the middle of a ritual here, and the woman is speaking in some weird hissy tongue that you don't understand.
And there's no like evidence of a sacrifice or anything like that.
Roll a perception check.
16.
No, you see no evidence of a sacrifice in here. And Ebazil holds you there and goes, "It would be polite to wait until the end of the ceremony."
Oh, we will. Don't worry.
Oh
Yes, we
no.
will. Yes, we will.
Gonna watch what's going on.
And this woman turns around and you see her face. And for all intents and purposes, she looks very humanoid. And she has a regular female form, but her eyes are these yellow orbs with black slits in them, and when she blinks sideways instead of horizontally. Her nose is somewhat flatter than you might expect, and she does underneath, along her neck, down in underneath her clothes, have yellowy, greeny scales showing from her neck.
So she's not loads different from like the Sariki or the Vosu?
No, she's not loads different from the Sariki or the Vosu. It's just she's a snake and not a fish or a fox. Yeah.
Or a lizard, Komodo.
Or the lizard, the Komodo. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
What's she saying in this? What are the women around her doing? Are they just like...
Roll an insight check.
That's 20, modified 20.
Modified 20.
I got 14.
14? 12. Okay. Brina, you've been studying the cultures of Havmar for some time now. For a month, you've been collecting as much information as possible. Religion's not your thing, but this appears to be some kind of communion. And the Nif that Ebazine called Nakuk is winding this long rope around the shoulders of the four women. She's passing them in and out of their shoulders so that they're all joined by this green velvet-looking rope. And then they all, still kneeling, join hands around Nakuk, and Nakuk passes round a plate of small meats, and they all refuse, one by one, the meats. And then Nakuk passes it on to the idol and places it reverently in front of the statue.
Can I see if those meats look humanoid?
Roll, I don't know, insight, perception?
Something wisdom based.
Something wisdom based.
It's all plus ones. 9.
9?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were going to join in on that.
I will actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Could it not have been nature?
It could have been nature.
That'd be 13.
So what?
17.
Perception, yeah.
17? Yeah, sure, perception.
Do I get my reliable talent on this?
Are you proficient in perception?
I am not. No. So it's gonna be 14.
Okay, cool. Galbert, you recognise this meat very, very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
This is salmon.
Lovely.
Oh. Salmon.
Salmon.
Love salmon.
I miss Michael Salmon.
Tiny salmon.
And then the rope is removed from around the circle, and the four Arabian women stand up holding hands, still in the circle, and then they all bow and say, "Hail, Snake Mother! Hail, Snake Mother! Hail, Snake Mother!" And then the magic is broken, and the air completely changes, and they're far more casual. They let go of each other's hands, and they all seem happy and a communion of people having just finished a religious ritual.
So it's quite a nice atmosphere.
Yeah, it is. It is. You're kind of expecting them to pass around the wine
Hello.
at the end there.
This all seems quite pleasant.
Yes. Hello.
And Nakuk spotted you during the ritual, but she carried on with her duties, and she now steps forward and goes, "Welcome.
Hello.
I am Nakuk of the Elder Nif. Who are the three of you?"
I am Galbert Twinkletoes, quartermaster of the Spirit of the Horizon.
I'm Brina Froddle. I'm the head of research at the Spirit of the Horizon.
I bow and offer my name. I'm Garrison Feith, helmsman of the ship.
"The three of you have greeted me with much politeness. This is not common for me. I thank you."
Well, we know what it's like for people to be confused by your appearance, all things considered.
It's very true. As you can see, we're not the tallest group.
No. You're not. And she's not tall. She's about 5 foot, but she's still
Over us.
taller than everybody else here. Apart from, not when I say everybody else here, not the Arabi. No. They stand at a good 6.5. She goes, what brings you here then?
Queen Tabris just wanted us. She was concerned. She thought Nif were here to invade and have malicious intent. With the appearances of the Snake Mother symbol.
The appearances of what?
The Snake Mother symbol.
And she looks over at Ebenzeer, and Ebenzeer like blushes slightly and goes, sorry, Ebenzeer. I told you that we could not have iconography in the town, or we would face persecution.
We're not here to persecute. We want to put that out there right now.
We have been practicing secretly, for the prejudices against my people are real and run deep.
Yes, we heard about a god called Gask and some...
Gask
Yeah, the information...
is the one who has led astray my people.
So, not a great guy then.
No.
What particularly do you not like about Gask?
His savagery
That's good.
forces us to be outcasts and pariahs.
So,
The Snake Mother welcomes and promotes death, but as part of life, and as the ending and beginning of it.
So,
As we start, so we return.
so it's more about
like a true
accepting...
circle.
Yeah, like accepting death and
Ouroboros.
rather than
Exactly.
forcing death on people.
It's exactly about that.
Okay.
Coming to terms with mortality is something that all on this planet must face.
So, you must really hate undead then.
And sacrifice,
And
for that matter.
sacrifice.
Unnecessary death upsets me as much as it would upset you.
Why did
That's
you not
true.
make your presence known to the Queen?
She just...
I would have been killed.
No. She's not that bad.
Just,
Considering...
Okay.
Yeah.
just so I'm clear, you're a Nif Elder?
Yes, the lowest of the castes of the Nif.
Oh.
The more one looks like the Snake Mother, the more one is close to her.
And that would be you and the other Eldarish. What did the other myth look like?
We vary. Some are snake-like in appearance. Others, like myself, look more like you, humans.
So is it the more snake-like you're like, the higher up you are in your society? Elder means the opposite for us. That's very interesting. Yeah.
Very.
Would you like... Forgive me if this is too forward, but I am a cleric of my god, and I, when given opportunities, will spread her word. Would you like to commune with her?
I would
Yes.
really
Yeah.
love some
Yeah,
healing.
I'd love it.
Yes, that'd be great.
I'd really love some healing.
And she does, in fact, look at your wounds there, and she casts just touches your hand, and it feels like skin, but there is a slight secretion that comes out that looks a little green, like a little bit of acid, and you immediately draw back like acid, but then it calcifies and cures your skin, and then wipes away and magically dissipates.
Could I roll an insight check on this woman and check she's all on the up and up?
Nakuk?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Nakuk.
That is a critical failure. I hope she is on the up and up.
Like, she seems on the up and up.
I'd also like to see if she's genuine.
Roll the insight check then for me.
I'm too distracted by her cool magic.
That's gonna be 11.
Yeah, she seems fairly genuine and fairly honest. It's difficult to read snake eyes, though. you've not had much practice. And Nakuk steps back and goes, Snake Mother, we have an opportunity. Come to me now. Talk to these people. Convince them of your holiness. And then behind her, an astral form appears of this great snake, 20 feet high, glowing a faint green. And she hovers and then moves towards you. And that is where we're going to end this hour of Adventurers Wanted. Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for playing. We'll pass back over to Chloe for the close. The close.
The closing spiel.
Since no one's here.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for watching on the Twitch stream. We're doing this from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. every day of Fringe, apart from the 24th and 25th. You can always come back to see where the adventure goes. You can also buy yourself a play ticket and come and play. I don't think we've got any cheeky plugs.
We'll plug Friends if that's okay, though.
Grant's been
We're
plugging
just gonna plug some
other
things at the Fringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to start us off, Grant, and then we'll go around?
Here at Sweet Venues Holyrood, we have several shows on. We've got one which is Momentum, a physical mime show, starting at 7:30 tonight and every other night leading up to the end of the Fringe. So yeah, come down, see a bit of theatre, enjoy and participate.
My very good friends Katie and Jay, together they're called The Next Best Thing. Their sketch show is a surreal seminar called How to Be Good at Everything, and that's at the Pleasance Courtyard. I've seen it 3 times, and I was still laughing on the 3rd time, which is a huge endorsement from me.
It is fantastic, and I'm just going to plug a friend of mine and friend of the show, Florence. She is doing Agony Uncles of Science, where actual scientists solve your problems with science in a suspicious application. It's really, really funny. It's really, really good, and it's women in STEM. It's all good things that you want to support. Great.
No. The universe disagrees.
It's in Barbados, in room 6 upstairs at 9:15 every day. It is free, but you can donate at the end if you would like to, but they are very nice about it.
I'm going to very quickly say we're streaming this all on twitch.tv/Adventurers Wanted and live tweeting on it. I'm now going to get the lights back on, and we've got a quick 10-minute turnaround for our final hour of the day.
Woo! Thanks very much, guys. Well, that was
Magic.
Let's. We're still streaming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me.
I've got crisps. I hope you on the stream have crisps. If you like crisps.
If you don't like crisps, I hope you don't have them.